It's been a year, and the heat outside is killing me. So excuse me while I run down into the cool basement. Not that I have a boring basement. There's too many creepy crawlies for that. And there's this TT-02 Porsche 911. Because the world needed another one of those. It just won't be a red one. Or whatever's in the manual. As for inspiration, I found that in my old sandbox. Anywho, roll intro. Still here? Then sit down, because we're going to talk about my childhood. Mine was obviously good. I had a sandbox. And 2 decades later, this thing came out of it. It came in a beautiful red livery, what remains of it anyway. Point is, one owner, and I know what I have, so no lowball offers. As for doing a red one, everybody does a red one. So let's do blue, or yellow, whatever the heck that is, but mainly blue. Good plan. So let's just stick to it. Body successfully unboxed. Unboxings are really fun, aren't they? Extra bits hacked off. Windows masked. Annoying holes in the roof, not handled at all. Who thought that we would survive cutting out wheel arches? But oh no, we can't be trusted with making big freaking holes in the roof for a 2 or 3 decades old antenna, which I've never seen in my life. Ever. Not that I get out much. But to get that done, we need some good weather. And for that, I blame, well, me. As for the decals, they're plentiful, small, and mostly going on rounded surfaces. Just a shame that a car as iconic as the 911 doesn't actually come with light buckets. All of which doesn't really matter, because I messed up the paint job just about here. It also helps to imagine that I had pointed to the other side of the car. So I panicked and tried to cover it up. Looks great, doesn't it? I thought so, so let's get that out of here. And yes, I did wash it. Here, I'll show you a picture of it. A picture of it drying upside down with oils and soap gathering in the places where I had problems with the paint. So, there you go. Awesome. If anyone asks, I'll just tell them that I totally meant to do this. After all, they did come in the kit, so why not use them? Besides, they make the car go faster. As for what it was supposed to be, I think I absolutely nailed it. Enough with the whole body fixation thing. So let's get rid of that entirely and start looking at putting together the chassis. And for that I went to all of the usual sites to find some upgrades. You can add some quotation marks to that statement if you want to, but I just wanted to have some fun without taking out a second mortgage. Going through the list, here's what I bought. Cool looking shocks because I didn't want to build another electric kangaroo. I then bought a slightly more expensive set in case they worked better. Funny how that works. A high-speed gear set because it's a Porsche and it needs to go slightly faster. Faster than what, I'm not entirely sure, but it's a Porsche, has to go fast. and it was supposed to be blue. I then added a differential locker because Porsches are supposed to spin out and crash on every turn. That's at least how they worked in my little sandbox. If you take offense at that, send me a Porsche and I'll look into revising that statement. Said Porsche would never be returned. That's a promise. And yes, I did add some surprisingly expensive bearings. Running a brushed motor and old-fashioned NIM batteries is already enough of a drag. Looking at the actual build instructions, it's still supposed to be a Porsche, so I want it slightly smaller than average and lower to the ground. As for my ridiculous plans for making it a rear-wheel drive car, I guess we won't need, well, this thing. Or either of the two differentials, the rear one replaced by a single soft piece of aluminum. The car won't have any kind of performance while cornering, but at least it won't get stuck with one wheel up in the air. I wonder if any of this will come back to haunt me. Anywho, moving on. As for gear ratio, I have absolutely no idea. What I do have is a clear unmarked baggie of parts. Instructions not found. Or at least I didn't lose them. Alright, just get to the point of screwing things together. Or up, or down. Whichever I get to first. Turns out that assembling the high-speed gear set is pretty easy. Just put the spur gear onto the adapter so that the slot for the pin is inside it. Add some screws. Take the rear axle shaft, add a bearing of choice and some random pieces of plastic. Not really all that random, but at least they were pieces listed in the manual. The one that I have at least. Mess around with it for 20 minutes before, well, throwing that out. Because sometimes you just have to find every way for some things to not fit together. I then spent time building the differential that I thought I wouldn't need. At least it's locked by design, so that wasn't just something that happened. On the other hand, it's a nice piece of blue bling in a place that no one would ever be able to see. Hopefully. As for the road ahead, it's all pretty much standard fare for a TT-02. Remembering to resist the urge to build it high. Also, the slightly short bit. Anywho, fast forwarding. And I would have liked to surf that bossa nova all the way to the end. Except life doesn't really work that way. But I'm getting ahead of myself. As for where we are, I'm, well, installing some shocks. These are a nice little black and red number. Only one set of springs in the package. So all of the tuning that we can do is with the oil. So naturally I just picked a bottle at random. This one was marked as containing 100 somethings. As for just intuitively knowing what values to use and when, I'm not one of those people. And relax. At some point, it was fixed. Looking at where we're at now, I thought to myself that it needed something extra. Well, beyond the terrible paint job. Then I stumbled across some exhaust pipes on AliExpress, and I didn't want to add a simple static LED to it. So I added a microcontroller to it. Looking at what my Spectrum receiver sends out to the ESC, you can clearly see that the signals are just a series of pulses going out, and with the width of each pulse between 1 and 2 milliseconds, we can now figure out the throttle position. I did design a PCB for all of it, but that's a little beyond the scope of this channel. As for functionality, its purpose is to watch your throttle usage and backfire when you ease up on it. It also does that regularly to show a simulated gear change, as well as some red to show heat. And with all that, let's talk about taking it outside. And sure, it's not warm anymore. That's what it was when I started all this. Now, it's autumn. As for the quality of footage, can you see how proud I look after putting a camera inside a car with tinted windows? Anywho, that's all I have for you, except a summary. I painted it badly, I built it strangely, and as for how it handles, it understeers a lot before losing control and then spinning out. Simply glorious. Anywho, voiceover, signing off.